Thanks for tuning into The Grind Radio. It's time for another episode of Amplify. Amplify is The Grind Radio's official bi-weekly rock submissions showcase. Turn up your speakers and get ready.
Alright, so this week, three Croatian friends, Jura, Renato, and Hrvoje, decided that they wanted to join forces and combine their musical talents. Now, led by Hrvoje, they created Hrvoje Šenjug and The Bypassesr. The trio, though they are rooted in their alternative sound, is for sure not bound by any genre, and blend a multitude of sounds to create their signature style. Earlier this year, they released their debut album, The Cycle Continues. A few weeks back, I had a lovely opportunity of catching up with Hrvoje on the new album, the band's process to writing, his signature shirt, and all of their plans for the future.
Your name is pronounced MZ.
Hrvoje. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, you were saying it right.
We got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm very happy that you gave us this opportunity to present our album and our band at the Grind Radio. I think it was actually the first radio that played our music.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
I'm not sure first one or the first one that wasn't from Croatia. I have to check that one out. But it was like in a matter of days, so.
No, but thank you for allowing us. Like, it's very important for us to, like, I think as much as it's cool for you, I think it's cool for us to be able to play your music. It really means a lot, you know. Like,
yeah.
That out. That's really awesome.
No problem.
Cool.
Anytime.
Yeah, please. If you keep on making it, I'll keep on playing it. No problem. Let's maybe start with the formalities. So, for people that are not familiar with you, can you just introduce yourself and introduce the band? Like, who are you playing with currently?
So my name is Hrvoje Šenjug, which is kind of hard to pronounce, I know. And I've had the privilege to start a band called Hrvoje Šenjug and The Bypassesr. So the Bypassesr part is sort of in the name, just so people from like English-speaking countries can find us more easily on Spotify, YouTube, and stuff like that. I play in the band with two other members. Other members are Jura Herceg, he plays double bass and bass guitar, and Renato Palatinuš, he plays vibraphone and the drums. So it's sort of an interesting concept because you have like 5 instruments and 3 people in the band, and I like to think that that is a very interesting concept because it's always changing, you know. Every song is a little bit different in terms of style and in terms of the sound, sort of the band, and I play guitar, so I only play one instrument. So recently, we released our first album, which is called The Cycle Continues. So we're very happy we can talk about that a little bit.
That's awesome. So I think jumping straight into The Cycle Continues, firstly, congratulations. It's very, very awesome.
Thank you.
That is a monumentous thing to release a piece of music, and at the same time a piece of music as great as you have. I'm very intrigued about the flesh behind this album, because there is so much going on across the board, but also per song. If you take one of my favorites from the album, like Childhood, it's this beautiful balance of like perfect natural and softness, and then this chaotic break back into. So there's so many elements going on, but I think you've beautifully balanced it. That there is this constant point of neutrality that we return to. So I wanted to know, can you tell me a bit more about the fusion of genres that you have on this album, and how did that style come to you?
Yeah, thanks so much for bringing up this tune that's called Childhood. I think it's actually one of the, more interesting songs from the record. I think it's basically sort of a fusion of classical music and like with a touch of jazz and maybe even a little bit of some sort of pop influence or something like that. But definitely it has roots in classical music. I think sort of the fusion of styles that we sort of came up with on this record is mostly a result of our like musical upbringing. So we were all like classically trained musicians, and we sort of got to know each other while we were studying at Zagreb Academy of Music. So there's definitely that influence, but at the same time all of us were playing in different bands, in different projects, from jazz to rock or even metal or something like that. So I think all of these different influences can be heard on this album, and I'm sort of very proud that we didn't what's the word I'm trying to say, keep anything under the sheets. We just or sort of everything that we felt just played, and that's how it turned out.
I know, like musicians, like you just mentioned, like you have this character that you play with, and I think that for some musicians it's like a complete opposite, so like a mask they put on, not a mask but like a safety barrier. But for some musicians it's a small part of themselves that comes alive and just like
I think it's
is that for you like that?
Yeah, I think it's sort of like it's not when I'm on stage it's like 100% me, but this 100% can only get out from you when you're on stage. It doesn't really happen in everyday life, because you always have to be like a little bit polite to people, or I don't know, a little bit reserved or stuff like that. But when you're on stage you're 100% yourself. So that's at least my take on it. So
okay, that makes sense. So the George Foreman grill ads. I don't know if you've heard of that ad campaign, George Foreman.
No, I didn't hear it.
So I think George Foreman is a very famous football player. I think that's the origin story. But he created this like food grilling machine, and the idea was from the ad campaign because it was called the George Foreman grill. So he would say that I'm so proud of it, I put my name on it, right? And of course, your name is deeply coupled into your band. So leading into that question, I wondered, in the band, like, are you do you go off and you create music and you write it and you come back and share with your band members, or is it more of a process where you guys are kind of like creating together? Like, how does that work out between the three of you?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, actually, most of the songs are written by me, and most of them like music and the arrangement. But some of the songs I really did have a good input from other people, so they get their credit for like arrangement parts or stuff like that. So you cannot really know this because it's detailed. It's more like detailed in the inner sleeve of the like physical copy of the album. But most of the songs are, written by me, like, but some of them, like the song Nebula, has like a good arranging input from our bass player, so he's like a co-arranger or something like that. But yeah, it was sort of actually also I wasn't really sure whether to name the band like only the Bypassers or Hrvoje Šenjug and the Bypassers, but in the end I sort of decided to do the latter because of two things. Because I am mostly the author of the music, and the reason was that the Bypassers was already taken.
Okay.
So
well, you can feel that. I think it's very, what I love about, I think that speaks to your classical training and the ability of taking music to express raw and deep emotion. I think even if you take an upper track like I think it's Jam.
Zumba Jam, yeah.
You have this kind of I love the video that you have with it for the performance. So that the way that cheer that you do afterwards is kind of you're listening to it, and I really feel the way that you guys are expressing yourself on this album is such a beautiful, raw, emotive experience. That it's very cool. Yeah.
That Zumba video was really genuine because, of course, it wasn't the first take we did of the song. We did, I think, like 2 or 3 takes. I'm not sure before that one. But after we sort of played that one, we were, like very happy because we knew, okay, this is the one we will use for the album. And generally speaking, all of the songs were recorded in that way that we were recording and audio and video at the same time. So all of our listeners can sort of tune in to our YouTube channel and see how the songs were actually recorded in the studio.
That's amazing. I really love that. So I have to ask, firstly, can I just compliment your choice of button-up shirts? Like, I'm a connoisseur of a good button-up shirt. So I picked like one of my personal favorites just in honor of the amazing shirts that you wear. And I wanted to ask, like, firstly, where does this iconic shirt, like this is definitely going to become an iconic shirt. Is there a specific story behind the shirt? Or is it just like something that you thought was really cool and you were like, fuck it, I'm going to wear it?
You know what? All of my friends sort of joke about this shirt because I made a mistake and I only bought one. And I have this one shirt, which I like, and I sort of played it now in a few concerts with the band and of course in the studio. And so they're joking about it. You have to change the shirt. Come on, what's this, dude? But I really like it, so I don't think we will be changing it anytime soon. And so that's that. And the story behind the shirt is just sort of, it's really simple. I was just looking to find something just to sort of express myself in a different way. I'm not really like everyday life. I don't usually wear like shirts or that are sort of so what's the word? Extroverted and sort of to bring attention to me or something like that. But when you're playing and when you're on stage, sometimes this sort of you have to get into a character, and I think this shirt helps me do this. So.
Okay, that makes sense. So what is the process for you when it starts to write music? Is it a consistent thing where how do you get in the space for writing, and what does that look like?
Well, that's a very, very tough question to answer, to be honest. I really don't have a system. I sort of just try to write some sort of interesting thing that happened to me, or an interesting emotion, or an interesting person that I met. But it takes a little bit of I know it's a corny word, but inspiration is like something that you cannot live without. So for me, it's not like a process in which I can like sit down and say to myself, okay, I will write today from like 7 to 10 and I will write a song. So it's sort of random. Sometimes like these wild ideas come up to my mind, I don't know, in some random places, sometimes even when I don't have a guitar. That's all, maybe the hardest part if you don't have the instrument. So you don't really know how to write it down. But these times I sort of either I record something on my phone, or I write down ideas, or sometimes if I'm like have a guitar, I just if I get a good idea, like musical idea, then I will just record it, like on my phone and listen to it later or finish it later or something like that. But it's very important to sort of, when you get that inspiration, just to catch it and not forget about it.
Where can people, South African booking agents, this is a call to all of you, events, if people want to get in touch with you, like where is the best to do that? Is it by IG, email?
Well, that's actually not that complicated. I think they can find our mail on our social media, so you can find it on Facebook, or you can sort of contact us directly through Instagram, or I don't know, maybe YouTube doesn't have a messaging app, but it has also all the links that you need on on all of our on the videos and stuff like that. So.
Okay, cool, perfect. And then last question, any tours, any gigs lined up for the rest of the year?
Well, we actually had, since we've released the album, we had 3 concerts, but they're all sort of in Croatia. I mean, not sort of, they are in Croatia, they were in Croatia, so we're trying to expand that a little bit, so we'll see how it goes, really. At the moment, I'm really sort of spending a lot of time sending emails and stuff like that, so I hope this interview will also help me to spread the word and find as many people to book us for next year. I hope.
If you make lekker music, why not send it through to us via submissions@thegrindradio.co.za.